and welcome to another episode of I'm a Black Woman. Yes, I Matter. I'm your host, Kumara Denise. In partnership with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, we are celebrating and highlighting Black women-owned, led, and founded businesses here in South Florida. Today, I have Raldgine with me, who is the founder of Beauvais magazine. Hey, Raldgine.
Hello, nice to meet you. Nice to
Nice
be
to
here as well.
nice to see you. So excited. So, can you tell us a little bit about your magazine?
Yes, so Beauvais Magazine is a holistic health magazine, and we're focused on representation and also empowering people to improve their holistic health.
And so, why is that important to you?
So, being in the medical field myself and in the healthcare field, I'm always looking for disparities and also just analyzing one's social economic status and how it relates to health, because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of external factors affect your health. And it's very important that representation also matters in health. We see it in healthcare and hospitals when it comes to certain physicians, when it comes to certain procedures. It is important that someone is recognized as a holistic person, ethnicity, gender, background, and that is exactly what we try to do in our magazine. All of our content is inclusive and also representative. So when people go onto our content and, for example, they're looking for a fitness video or cooking video, they can watch a video that pertains to them or also their situation as well.
Okay, so you mentioned video. So this is a digital magazine, or can you also get it in print?
It is currently a digital platform and we will be moving to print, but for now we wanted to make it accessible, so it is digital.
I love that. And so, when did you start the magazine?
So I started December of 2020, so it's been about 2 years and 9 months now.
All right, so you started during the pandemic. Talk to me about what made you decide that the pandemic was the time. Was it because it was in the pandemic you had time to sort of think about it? Had you been thinking about it before? Tell me a little bit about why it ended up happening being December 2020.
Yes. So it was a lot of factors. The pandemic had a great influence over it. One, I did have more time with the pandemic as we were in lockdown. So it was a great time to gather information, speak with people, and also see my interest in what I really needed in a time where we solely just had with ourselves to really understand ourselves and who we are as people. And just what kickstarted the idea was I was going through a mental health struggle with depression. And I realized that there was not a lot of representation, one, in people considering mental health as important as physical health, one. And also just within myself as a Black woman, I needed to see more representation in terms of therapists, in terms of advice, because usually on social media, of course, it's mostly Eurocentric, a lot of cultural and ethnic backgrounds, of course, being a Haitian woman, wasn't really provided in the context that I needed. So I wanted to create a platform in which anyone of any ethnicity, again, gender, nationality, would be able to come onto the platform and receive health advice that is accurate, specific, and personalized to them as well, considering that I didn't have that. So I wanted to create a platform that could provide that.
I love that. I love the mission and the vision behind it. And obviously, I highly believe in representation of all ethnicities, genders, sexual orientation, etc. So, how do you sort of curate the content? Like, how does the content come on? How do you work with different writers, content creators, etc.?
So a lot of it is being proactive on social media, because I truly believe that in order to get truly what the audience wants, you need to be proactive on social media, see what people are talking about, see what's trending as well. So when it comes to content development, my favorite place to go, of course, is TikTok, Instagram, especially TikTok, because I feel like people are more expressed over there and it's less censored, so people have more of a freedom to do that. So, for example, I remember watching a video where a female was speaking and she was like, I really want to create cooking videos, but my kitchen isn't a luxury kitchen and I'm embarrassed of my kitchen. And for me, that was really upsetting. And I was like, no, like you have healthy content that needs to be out there that's representative. And you don't know how many other people are feeling the same way as well. So, for example, we would then reach out to that individual, to that person, explain our mission, and then have them create content with us. So it's also a large creator economy in which we do reach out to creators, in which we realize you're providing content that aligns with our platform and aligns with our mission, our values, and our goals, and we would like to feature you. So again, it's a lot of proactive work, also working with a lot of local health institutions and asking them, what is something that your patients or your clients have been struggling with that you feel is not being spoken about enough, and then also featuring that on our platform. Because of course, like any other creator, we can create our own content, but we need to make sure that it's personalized, and we also do that through our data and our analytics. So we can also see what countries are looking at our page, what states, what genders, what ages as well. So every week the marketing team does an analysis on the user's data, and we also use that to form the content for the next week as well.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's something that people don't often think about when they're thinking of their marketing strategies or even their social media presence. You know, everyone is like, I know I need a website. They know they need a social media presence, but they never really think a lot about the market analysis, the data analysis, and then how do you make those actionable? So if you don't mind, I don't want to like get into your data necessarily, but if you could talk about this strategy around why you guys look at it weekly, what kind of skill sets are you looking for folks who are going to do this sort of analysis on your behalf? I think that would be helpful for folks out there.
Yes. So again, like you said, looking at data and looking at analytics is very important, especially when it comes to content creation. Every influencer knows this, even every business and company knows that you do need to look at the numbers, because at the end of the day, we do not know exactly what the audience wants until we look at the data. We can be pushing out content that the audience is like, okay, but we don't really need this content. That's not what we're looking for. And then that's a waste of resources. It's a waste of time, and it doesn't align to our mission and goal, where we just end up like any other creator and any other company out there. And that is not our goal. So by looking directly into our audience, it also shows the audience how even more personalized it is as well. So for example, last week we can say 60% of our audience was female, 40% was male. More of them ventured towards Mental Health Monday versus then Beauty Tuesday. When it came to Mental Health Monday, they preferred videos over an article. So then we could say, okay, we know that we have a lot of females going for Mental Health Monday and they're looking for videos. So then we would, again, like you said, with the skill set, look for creators, again, who have a strong mental health background, who can speak on it as well. Because also with being with health, we also want to make sure that the information is reliable and accurate and correct. So it's not only we're just choosing any random influencer, but an influencer has education and even lots and lots of experience in what we're talking about, especially when it comes to mental health. We want to make sure that the information is scientific and proper. So that's an also skill set that we see. We look into the backgrounds. How many years has the creator been providing this content? Do they know enough about the content? Also, how are they like in their personal lives as well? Are they also hoping to improve health for others? Are they helping others as well? Because again, we don't want to put just anybody on our platform. Everyone on our platform in some sense is going to be a leader in helping other people towards that section. So that is also a skill set that we look at. Can this person be someone that other people can follow for advice once they leave our page as well?
I love that. The thoughtfulness and the mission alignment around that. So you started in December 2020, and it's like it seems like you have some good systems in place. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is to have systems to be successful as an entrepreneur?
So glad that you asked me this question, because it's very important. And the first thing that I would say, in order to have proper systems, you do need to have discipline. Because as an entrepreneur, I feel it is not spoken enough that motivation is not enough. because every day you're not going to be motivated to go to your business. If you look at even on Instagram and all the businesses that have been uploading for just like a few months and then they stop because they realize that I don't have any motivation to do that. And you're going to have the discipline to be like, even though I am not motivated to work on my business today, I need to. So when I feel like the system of discipline within yourself needs to come before the systems that you put into your business. Because once your business and also your team sees the discipline and the systemic ways that you handle yourself in your business when you lack motivation, it's also going to carry through the systems in your business as well. Because if you lack motivation, your team's going to lack motivation. So it is important to have that discipline. And then after having that discipline within yourself, then also need to have that discipline in the business. So when it comes to this magazine, there are very different departments. There's marketing, there's PR, there's tech, and there's also accounting and finance. So within those systems, I like to make it kind of like, if you look at like the human body, everyone has a part and they're all separate and individual, and then they come together. So for marketing, what I like to do is goals and plans, like weekly goals. So every month we're like, okay, so this is the goal for the month. We need to hit these 3 goals. And then every week we're going to make sure that we're on progress with these goals. So for example, for PR, if we need to talk about, we need to have 20 creators for this month creating content. Okay, so each week we need to contact and outsource 5 creators. 5 creators. So after week 1, did we outsource 5 creators? Did each of those 5 creators hit Mental Health Monday, Beauty Tuesday, Sexual Health Wednesday? Okay, when is the timeline that they're going to submit content? Okay, week 1 done. And we do that every week. So by the time week 4 hits, okay, great. We have 20 content creators. We know the dates that they're coming in. And of course, backing this data with Excel sheets, making sure that all this information is written down. So in the future, you want to reach out to creator again, you have that information locked. So also being able to manage your data in a great way, and that is also accessible to you as well. And then again, in each department, I have those goals as well. Accounting, every meeting that we have this month, okay, is everything paid? Is everything in line with our expenses and our spending? Do we have leeway to do another event or hire another creator? Same thing with technology. Okay, we need to hit 1 networking event a week. We need to hit 5 contacts. So then by the end of the week, okay, we hit 4 to 5 networking events. We have 20 contacts. We can move on to the next month and our new goal. And then also that moves on to quarter goals as well, and then yearly goals. So what I recommend for entrepreneurs is start off with weekly goals, what you want to hit, then start off with monthly goals, because at the end of the day with business, it's all about small steps, and those small steps will lead to the big changes. I know that a lot of people want to go for the leap, and they're like, okay, let's reach out to 30 people and see what happens. And then once you don't get those numbers, then you realize, okay, we wasted 5 weeks on trying to get 30 people instead of just trying to get 2 people every week and then getting to 30. So it's also very important to be diligent about everything that you do as well. And again, that comes with discipline as well.
I love that. That's just a very different approach. And but like chunking it out like that and being so meticulous and methodical. You said one of my favorite words, which is Excel. I'm like, I'm the queen of a lot of stuff in Excel spreadsheets, and then people are like, here we are, here are my tabs all at the bottom, so that's great. Well, actually, I should say I move into Google Sheets so that at least, it's in the cloud,
yes.
etc.
Google Sheets, Google Workspace, the
exactly. I'm like, listen, if you can't do a full-on CRM yet, Google is one of your greatest allies as a business owner, especially if you're just kind of starting off and you just need an easy sort of win platform. Everyone understands Google, right? So it's kind of like, there's really not much that you have to do when it comes to hopping onto that platform. So we talked a little bit when you first came on, and we were texting earlier. You're like, I'm in class. Because I would swear that you were like, this is what you do all day long, is run this business, but you're also in school. Can you talk about how you are balancing both?
It is very difficult. I'm currently getting my MPH, which is a master's in public health at the University of Miami. So in a lot of sense, it's a lot of benefits because speaking with the professors and the students, there's a lot of connections, people that could give advice, can look over my magazine as well. So it's really nice to have a community that's very supportive and that also I can go to for as like an advisor as well, because it's also important as a business founder and CEO is that we are not the head of the operation. You still need advisors, you still need counsel, you still need a board. So it's really nice having those resources when I need. On the other side, it is a lot to balance because I am a full-time graduate student, and also running a business does require your whole entire time, especially if you're the leader of a business. Because what people don't understand is the leader of the business, yes, we are oversight, but we are also making sure that every little detail is in place. Because marketing, if you're a marketing director, you're just focused on marketing. If you're the chief financial officer, you're just focused on the finances. But as the leader of the company, you have to look over every department and make sure that every detail to the finest is great. Because at the end of the day, if something happens with your company, it's not your marketing team that's going to go down. It's not your PR team. It's going to be you, and it's going to be your name, especially since your name is on the magazine. So with that, it is very hard, and at times I do lack motivation and I do need breaks. And that is also very important. I believe that leaders need to understand that you do need breaks from your business at time, and breaks in which it still can function properly passively, but you can take a step back. You know, that your business is not fully shut down without you, but you can take a step back for yourself. And that is what I had to do, because I would be coming out of class, long classes, like 2-hour classes, 3-hour classes, and I would just didn't have any motivation to look over my work. And that's when it's really important to have a team and to have advisors and board members also to also lift you up with that, because without that I would not be able to handle both. So with that, it's very important to have a supportive community and also like-minded business individuals around you that can also understand you from that perspective. So with that, what I tend to do is usually like Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, if I have class, for example, then Tuesday, Thursdays, I dedicate all that day to my magazine. And then Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, I leave it to my team, and then I have them report to me on those days. So I can still be in the mix. I can still keep track of it while also prioritizing my education as well. So it's all about time management and balance. So even if for one day you can't be completely vested in your company, at least having someone else start to do the work, and you can get the reports and the oversight. And what I like to do is just ask my team for a summary report of what happened that week, so I can just look over and be updated. So when I see them the next day, I'm already on track.
I love that. I love that. So tight. But you did mention, there are times when you obviously need to just take away,
Yeah.
step back, and you're unmotivated. So what are you doing to? And then you let us know that you were also having some mental health issues during the pandemic, which is one of the catalysts for starting the magazine. Can you tell us what you do for self-care, and how do we make sure that Raldgine comes first?
Yes, which is very important too, because I feel like in the entrepreneurship world, we think that if we don't work on our business, it's going to go down and it's going to fail, and we need to be on it every single day. And although, again, you need to have discipline, what I learned as an entrepreneur is your business reflects yourself. Very much so. So if you are not well, your business is not going to survive because you're not making the proper decisions. You're not at the level that you need to be in order for this business to be sustained. So once I realized that, I made sure to put, I would say, guardrails in place. So when I'm feeling burnt out, when I'm feeling irritated, that's when I know it's time for self-care. And in terms of self-care, I'm very blessed in living in Miami, Florida, in which we have the beach and we have the warm weather. So I like to be outside, definitely relaxing, taking in nature, also just being a Christian and spending that time with God, and be able to revive myself in that sense. Reading, I love to read, also helps expand your vocabulary as a leader as well. So just reading about, and also things completely separate from business. Because I know people will be like, for self-care, I'll read, but then they're reading a book about stocks. And it's like, no, like you need to have your own personality. So what I love true crime podcasts.
Me too.
Yes. So Crime Junkie has been my podcast. So what I like to do is go on walks. There's this place called Brickell Key, which is a very nice, like many mile walk, which I like to do, listen to podcasts, read books. Netflix is my favorite thing to do. I love drawing, reading, museum visits. Wanted to get into more also just like pottery as well. So things that I can be very creative about. I love taking self-care in a creative sense. And then of course, there's more self-care you can do with like red light therapy or even just taking a nice bath. But for myself as well, I like to be in the creative stance. So again, reading, writing, drawing, painting, speaking with other people, even volunteering as well. I love volunteering because that just brings me a renewed sense as well, seeing what I can do to help my community and help others. So those are definitely some steps that I would take when it comes to self-care. And of course, most importantly, having a therapist as well, in which I can also give my concerns, give my stresses, and then have proper tools and techniques to deal with my stress.
I love that. Thank you so much, Raldgine. How can people keep in contact with you?
Yes. So, of course, my name is Raldgine Beauvais, and it's very simple. If you just look me up on social media, you'll find any of my social platforms. And of course, my magazine, BeauvaisMagazine.com. We have a contact us, yes, right at the bottom of our page. And all of those messages will go to our magazine email. And I also oversight the emails as well. So I will also see it. If you'd like to talk to me personally, my email is my first name, last name at BeauvaisMagazine.com. So very simple. And yes, again, I'm on every social platform and I'm willing to speak with anyone. I really want to encourage more entrepreneurship and also love just speaking and giving advice about it.
This has been so helpful. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing your tips and tricks. You've given such wonderful advice to potential entrepreneurs out there. Thank you so much, Raldgine. Thank you so much again, the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, for doing this in partnership with I'm a Black Woman, Yes, I Matter, as we celebrate and honor Black-owned, led, and founded businesses here in South Florida. Until next time, peace.